Hey guys, here's the next lesson or part 2 of exploring triangles. And this lesson, the objective today is to be able to classify triangles based on their angle measurement. So, you can start by taking notes, and you will put at the top of your note page, title it Exploring Triangles Part 2. And then the lesson objective, identify triangles by their angle measurement. All right, here we go. Quick summary of last time. This is an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle where all sides are equal in length. So that's from one vertex to the other vertex. It is equal in length, all three sides. This is a scalene triangle where all the sides are different measurements. So from one vertex to the next, all three sides have a different measurement. And lastly, we learned about the isosceles triangle. This is supposed to be an I, and that's a triangle where two sides are the same length. So this only when two sides are the same length and one side is not. So that's the summary from last week. Okay, so today we are going to learn about triangles classified by angles. Triangles can also be classified according to their angle measurements. There are acute triangles, obtuse triangles, and right triangles. Does this terminology sound familiar? It might. It might remind you of when we learned about angles. So what I'll get you to do is put in your notes acute, obtuse, and right. And then we will define them. It might look something like this. Acute, obtuse, then right, and then we will define them. Okay, so here is an acute triangle. Acute triangle only has acute angles. All three angles are smaller than 90 degrees, or less than 90 degrees. Not 900, that's supposed to say degrees. So you can write that down in your notes. Acute, a triangle with only acute angles. Next, we have an obtuse triangle, a triangle with one obtuse angle and two acute angles. Obtuse triangle, triangle with one obtuse angle and two acute angles. There's a challenge question on the bottom. Can a triangle have more than one obtuse angle? And we will find out. But first, we go to our next triangle, which is the right triangle. Has an angle that is just right. Haha. Two edges come together to create a vertex and create an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So a right triangle is exactly 90 degrees. There's only one 90-degree angle, and then, of course, two acute angles. Now, just for fun fact, this item here is a measurement tool that carpenters use. It is called a speed square, and if you look at it, it has a 90-degree angle, making it a right triangle so that you can draw straight lines. Very cool. So write that in your notes. A right triangle is a triangle with one 90-degree angle in it. Okay. So, how do we classify by angles? We have acute, we have obtuse, and we have right. Lastly, we have to learn about how to add up triangle angles. The sum of the interior angles in a triangle always equals 180 degrees. So if you think about that bike that you first started to learn to ride, that was called a tricycle. And if you think about a tricycle, how many wheels does it have? Well, a tricycle has 3 wheels. A triangle has 3 angles. And those angles in the triangle always equals 180 degrees. If your angles do not equal 180 degrees, it is not a triangle. It is a different shape, or it is not a perfect triangle. So how do you know your triangle is built properly? Well, when you measure the angles on the interior, it will equal 180 degrees. And there is the formula below. Angle plus angle plus angle equals 180 degrees. So if you look at this angle here, this looks like an equilateral triangle because all the sides are the same length. And it also looks like an acute angle triangle because the angles look smaller than 90 degrees. If it's an equilateral triangle, that means that each one of these angles is going to be 60 degrees because 60 plus 60 plus 60 equals 180 degrees. So, just a little bit of an interesting note for you. We will be learning how to draw triangles and construct triangles next. But right now, we are just classifying them. So, in your notes, make sure you have this done. And then you have the triangle formula, which is down here at the bottom. Angle plus angle plus angle equals 180 degrees. Now, for practice, I have provided you a triangle practice sheet. So here you go. You can name the 6 different types of triangles, and you should be able to do that from your notes. Name these triangles as either equilateral, isosceles, or scalene, and just by looking at them, just by their side lengths. Then name these triangles as either right, acute, or obtuse. So this you can, if you want, you can just look at them based on their measure, what they look like. But also, this is where you should start measuring them. So you measure the angles, and I'm looking at this one here. And if I go close enough, you can sort of see it. I noticed that, first of all, I'm going to classify that angle. It is an obtuse angle, so this must be an obtuse triangle because that obtuse angle is about 105. It is larger than 90 degrees, therefore it is an obtuse triangle. What I want you to do on these ones down here is I want you actually to measure each of these angles and see if you can use the formula to see if they add up to 180. So this one here, I'll measure this one first. It is an acute angle. It looks like it's about 72 degrees, so I'll put that in. 72 degrees. Then I will measure this one, which looks like an acute angle as well. And it is larger than 50, but smaller than 16. It looks like it's just about 55 degrees. Then this bottom one here is just a little bit smaller, 55 degrees. It looks like about 54 degrees. Now I can see if I measured accurately by using the formula, which is angle plus angle plus angle equals 180 degrees. So I have 72 degrees, and normally I would name the angles, but in this case I don't have to. 55 degrees plus 54 degrees equals, well, 55 plus 54 is 89. Sorry, 99. Wow. 109. My goodness, my math is off right now. 109 plus 72 equals 181 degrees. So I'm off on one of these degrees by 1 when I was measuring. And I have a feeling that it is this 55 because these are probably the same. I'm going to go change that to 54 degrees, and then I should be able to add it up to 180 degrees. And therefore, I know that it is a proper triangle. And in this case, this is an acute triangle. And this one, you'll know, is an obtuse. So that's a little bit of an extension. If you want to try measuring the angles and see if it adds up to 180 degrees, see if you can get it to add up to 180. But I think all it really is asking you to do is just name whether they are acute, right, or obtuse. So I'll let you decide whether you want to measure the angles or not. But here's the worksheet that goes along with it. Anyways, good luck, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson.